What is it?
It's a distress signal from the scout team. Oh no, their vital signs are fading.
Where are they?
Rezel Forest.
Got it. Dozer, can you take this one?
Yes, sir.
So am I.
I'm counting on you two. Stop! We need to regroup. Please, return to base at once.
Understood. All right, heading back.
Okay. Is that the end? Oh, Dozer!
I'm so glad to see you back in one piece. Dozer's being treated right now. He'll be fine. Don't worry. He should be back in action soon.
Thank goodness. And the other Ark's defenders?
They didn't make it.
I see.
So those were Starless. Both squads were wiped out. Even Dozer barely. Well, it seems they don't plan on letting us prepare for them, do they? At the very least, now we know what kind of threat we're up against. We must advance battle preparations. Which reminds me, we didn't get to finish talking about that thing I need your help with. I want you to be a symbol for Arcs in the battles that still lie ahead of us. Well, the common denominator at every decisive battle and pivotal moment has been you. And you just played a key role in defeating those Starless. You're essentially Halpha's guardian already. I'd simply like to make it official. Admittedly, your role as guardian won't be much different. You'll just keep trouncing enemies and helping people out, like you always do. But that should be enough to give us all a little bit of hope. Trust me, a title goes a long way. Of course, I know that this is no small request, but I would be truly honored if you would accept. Thank you. It means a lot. Now, I have some work to attend to. I'll contact you about your next mission later. We still have a lot to do for that tomorrow Ina spoke of.
Oh, hey there!
Hey! I was called regarding Manon's inquest.
And I wanted to know every detail.
Don't worry, Manon and Feria are both just fine. Their quarters are a little cramped, but they're not being mistreated. The same goes for the others. The problem is... that's part of it. They all played a role at the Seal, but each one had different responsibilities. And the data's inconsistent, so it's tough to present a comprehensive case. But what's even harder than that is trying to get on the same page with them. Like when we say, tell us about Lucille, or something, for example. They start going into detail about its construction and its specs and stuff like that. It's almost like trying to talk to a data mainframe or something.
Manon was like that at first, too. She'd just reply with the bare minimum. I remember my dad having a hard time with that.
For them, I guess, that's probably just their normal.
But Manon's different now.
Yeah, she is. We're essentially having Manon interpret for us at the moment. If we put in the effort, then maybe they'll do the same and come around. At least, I hope so. Oh, and, on that note, we've decided to start calling them Lucillans.
Lucillans?
They're not our enemies anymore. Resurgent Arcs is just too loaded, you know? We had to change it.
Makes sense. Lucillan. Yeah, I like it.
This is Central Leader Crawford. I ask you to lend me your ears. I'm here today to warn you of an imminent threat. Lucille, Resurgent Arcs. The things we've learned about recently have no doubt come as a major shock to everyone. Though Dark Falls has been defeated, our war against the dolls rages on. And now, a new enemy has appeared. The Starless. We recently crossed swords with a Starless vanguard and managed to emerge victorious. Thanks to the same brave warriors who defeated Dark Falls. Though we are faced with new unknowns, we have nothing to fear. This threat, we can overcome if we stand together and finally restore peace to Halpha. By together, I don't mean only Aelio, Ritem, Kavaris, and Stia. We will also need to work alongside our new Resurgent Arcs allies. I understand that some of you may be hesitant. It's true that their actions have been the cause of much pain and suffering. But now that they've been freed from Zephedo's influence, they are our enemies no longer. They are our stalwart allies. And it's only by joining hands that we'll defeat the Starless. As one heart and one mind. Offer me your strength, and we will bring peace to Alpha.
Can you hear me? Crawford would like to speak with you. Please come to the Central Tower Command Room as soon as possible.
That's what the Lycelans told me. I'm sure it's true.
Very interesting.
Sup? You know, you should probably know about this, too. Do you have some time? Okay, great. Though Dozer's heard this all before.
I'll live.
So, we were talking about dolls. I'm sure you noticed, but the Starless share a lot in common with dolls. I mean, the way they look and move, for example. For example, the ones you fought recently in Rezel Forest look like Petus and Nogleth dolls. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Dolls were designed to emulate the Starless. They're basically a simulation to prepare us to fight the real thing.
Who would have ever thought, right?
But then again, I guess that's also true of all of Alpha. From the plains and swamps to the forests and mountains. They're all artificial. They're modeled after different kinds of planets. The goal was to combine a bunch of different ecosystems to prepare for the Starless in different environments. The same goes for all the buildings. Trainia, for example. Those have been training facilities all along. We were using them for the war against the dolls. But the truth was that all along, we were being trained to fight the Starless.
Which means Zephedo was toying with us the whole time.
Which is why we need to go back and review everything we thought we knew.
Yeah, you're right. If everything really was so carefully planned out, there has to be some secret to defeating the Starless. Somewhere.
Then what about Zephedo? We were just talking about Zephedo, and about what exactly he did on Helpha. We thought it might give us some sort of hint for dealing with the Starless.
We've pieced together a lot from what we've learned from the Lycelans. The main problem is that there's just so much data to sift through. It's 500 years worth, after all. And most of that data no longer exists on Alpha. It really is. But one thing we've learned is that Zephedo wasn't always a caste. He made that change to extend his longevity for his experiments.
That's some dedication.
Yes, he was entirely committed to his work. In the beginning, it looks like he did try to keep the Alpha experiments safe. But he wasn't getting the results he was looking for. When he developed the dolls, the experiments became something more like real warfare. A big turning point for that was when he introduced Dark Falls. It basically became survival of the fittest. Defenders who survived saw tremendous spikes in their photon power.
And so, that's why we were forced to fight against Dark Falls too.
I honestly could never forgive what Zepheto has done. But I can understand why he did it. As Aelio's leader, I understand doing whatever it takes. I feel the same about the people of Aelio. Of course, I would never take things as far as he did. I heard that he said his wish had been fulfilled. If that's true, it means we can beat the Starless. At least I hope so.
Good to see you. I was reading that Lacelan report. It made me want to look to the sky. Would you mind lending me an ear as I get my thoughts together? Resurgent ARCS members were born to research and develop ARCs and dolls. That's it. That's all they've ever known. And the result of this ARC's development plan they were working on was us. But then, where does that leave Meteorn like you and me? Meteorn come from outside Alpha's atmosphere, way beyond Lucille. I hear there's a huge station up there. But according to them, even the Lacealans know nothing about it, aside from the fact that it sent out some Meteorn. Seems like the people of Alpha came up with the word Meteorn in the first place. The Lacealans called us first generation, second generation, and so on. Crawford and Ina are descendants of the second generation. You and me, we're third generation. Photon sensitivity gets stronger with each generation. But I think yours is especially strong, even for the third generation. Not that we know why that is. Even Manon and Faria say your origins are a mystery. We were created for a single purpose, to counter the Starless. People like us, we were born to either research or to fight. In my book, that's not much different from the Lacealans. Sorry. I didn't mean to ramble. I better get back to my post.
Well, look who it is. It's not exactly research. I was just checking on that environmental control unit over there. Yeah, that's right. They're those large objects that float at regional borders. They seem to control Alpha's environment somehow. I mean, we've known that for a while now. But the Lacealans gave us some more info about them. They were saying that these things can even be found overseas. Well, not really. This entire island's environment is controlled from Lucille. The atmosphere outside of this island isn't exactly suitable for us. which means we can't really leave. Oh, when I use the word island, I'm talking about where we're standing right now. The Lyceilans referred to it as Halpha Main Island, or Central Island. Speaking of islands, apparently, Resurgent Arcs created a lot of others besides this one. They left most of them empty, from what I hear. Some of them are experimental islands that we only discovered recently. They were called creative spaces, I think. And you can travel to each one of them using Ryuger devices. Well, as long as you have the right address, that is. Have you ever checked one out? Oh, okay. If you ever make something, I'd love to see it. Let me know. Show it to me once you're done.
Hey. Yeah, thanks for your concern. I'm just doing a little patrolling, keeping an eye out for the Starless. We lost a lot of defenders in that fight the other day. I'm not looking to make that a habit. Thanks for your help, by the way. You really bailed me out there. Not my best look, though, I'll admit. Yeah, it's hard to look like a hero when you get KO'd like that. But I am glad that Aina was okay. I never should have let the enemy get the drop on us in the first place. I was so focused on following orders and returning to base. The only reason we even pulled through is because you and Aina were there. That's not how a squad leader should act. But at least that skirmish got us some intel on the Starless. Now we know how they fight. So we'll never get caught off guard like that again. I've gone ahead and shared what we learned with our veteran ARCS defenders. And hopefully, we'll refine our tactics as we get more and more intel. As our guardian, I'd like you to lead them in this battle. Alright, I better get back to it. The Starless are a threat. Make no mistake about that.
Thank you all for coming. Today I'd like to discuss our surveys of Halpha's various regions. Specifically, how we might better leverage them against the Dolls and the Starless.
Is there something wrong with how we're doing them?
Well, there's no problem with the intel, but our methods have been uncoordinated and frankly, inefficient. Which is why I've begun the formation of a joint research team.
A fine idea. But every team needs a leader, yes? Who will that be?
That's a good question. But before I address it, I'd first like to talk about one of our research team members from Aelia.
Huh?
Manon. Yes, I guess you could say that. She and I discussed it, and came to an agreement.
So, does that mean she's free now?
That's right. I'll need her to give me updates, but otherwise, it's business as usual.
Awesome. Would it be alright if we helped out with her research too? The three of us should be together, right?
Unfortunately, I'll need you two to focus on your own duties.
What? But...
I'll need you to lean into your role as our guardian against the Starless. And Aina, I'll need you to look after our new trainees.
Then I'll do it. I'll lead that research team.
Glenn?
I've handed over combat command to Kanui anyway. I've got nothing but time on my hands. I'll take care of Manon too.
It would be a tremendous help.
Let me know if you get any other volunteers. Will do.
Guess I will be the only one.
Aina, we'll probably need your help occasionally. I'll be counting on you.
Glenn...
But in the meantime, just handle whatever Crawford needs you to do. You bear the weight of Ark's future on your shoulders now.
Yeah, I know.
Are we done here? We'll figure out the details once we get the team together.
Right. We'll decide the particulars of an action plan later.